Our story today begins on the edge of nowhere. A sun-faded town with just two streets, one saloon, a sheriff's office, and dust. Endless dust. The kind of dust that seeps into your boots, your teeth, even your dreams. You stand at the edge of this ghostly place, blinking into the blazing sun. The brim of your wide hat casting a faint shadow over your eyes. Even though you're doing nothing, you already feel tired. That's the first thing they don't tell you about the Wild West. It's exhausting, not because of the horses or the heat or the danger, but because everything is so still, so wide, so endlessly quiet. It feels like time forgot to keep ticking. You take a step forward. The wooden plank beneath your boot creaks. It echoes like thunder in the hush of the empty street. You look around. No cars, no signs, no sound, except for a single wind chime lazily clicking against a nail by the saloon door. You feel it then. The loneliness of this place. The way the sun stretches shadows across the sand like the arms of something ancient. Watching. You pass by the sheriff's office. The sign swings crooked in the wind. Through the dusty window, you see a hat hung on a peg, untouched for years. A tin star on the desk, catching the light, and nothing else. And here's another reason why you wouldn't survive a day in the Wild West. There's no schedule here, no notifications, no digital clock blinking at you to wake up, just the rhythm of the land, the creak of leather, the sound of wind talking to rocks. You'd think that would be peaceful, and it is, but it also forces you to be with yourself, with your thoughts, and not everyone is ready for that. You walk down the dusty road toward a barn at the edge of town. It looks empty, but something inside draws you in, like a whisper in your chest. So you follow it. As you step through the wooden door, the light dims. Golden rays stream through slats in the walls, casting lines of sunlight across the hay-strewn floor. There's something warm in here, not just from the heat, but from the quiet presence of stories buried deep in the wood. You see a saddle slung over the stall rail, worn leather, soft with time. You run your fingers across it. You try to imagine riding through this land, chasing the horizon, but your body aches just from the thought. The truth is, most people think they'd be heroes in the Wild West. Sharpshooters, horse tamers, fearless and rugged. But that's a myth. The Wild West doesn't want heroes. It wants patience, silence, stillness. It teaches through emptiness. And if you don't listen, you get swallowed by the land. You close your eyes inside the barn and lean back against the beam. Outside, the wind rustles a tumbleweed along the dirt road, like a song with no words. You let your breathing slow. You feel your heart settle. Your mind softens. Maybe you didn't survive the Wild West, but maybe it's okay to be a visitor, to pass through, to hear its quiet wisdom before you drift away into sleep. Still leaning against the barn beam, you begin to notice the tiny sounds that make up the Wild West. Sounds so soft, they nearly disappear. The flutter of a bird's wings as it takes off from the rafters above you. The gentle hum of crickets just outside, in the tall grass that sways like a sleepy lullaby. And the crackle. Yes, that soft, dry crackle of hay as it shifts beneath your boots. Everything moves slowly here, deliberately. That's how it's always been. Even time, it seems, drips like thick molasses in the heat. You walk outside, shielding your eyes from the sinking sun. The sky is shifted now, no longer bright and golden, but deepening into hues of amber and rose. The desert is glowing, and the breeze has changed, cooler, gentler, like the land itself is whispering. It's time to rest. You head down a narrow trail that winds between two low hills. The rocks are warm to the touch, still holding on to the day's heat. And as you walk, the world grows quieter. No townsfolk, no rattling wagons, just the wind and your own footsteps, growing slower and softer with each step. You find a quiet spot, a small overlook, where you can sit and watch the sun make its final bow behind the mountains. You lower yourself to the ground, letting your legs stretch out in front of you. You rest your hands in your lap, and you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Long, smooth breaths. You feel your body sink just a little deeper. You feel the last of the day's tension leave your back, your arms, your eyes. It's quiet here, but not empty. It's full of old stories and old spirits, the kind you don't need to see or touch to feel. They swirl around you now, carried on the wind. You hear the faint ring of a harmonica, played from somewhere far below in the valley. A ghost song, maybe, or a memory of someone who sat here long before you. You close your eyes, and the melody wraps itself around your chest like a warm blanket. You're not scared, you're not alone. You're a part of something much bigger than yourself. This land, it doesn't ask for much, just that you listen. And if you be quiet long enough, if you sit still and breathe and let yourself be held by the silence, you begin to understand. This place has no time for rushing, no need for noise, no interest in pretending. It just is. And now, so are you. You lie back slowly, letting your head rest on your hands. The earth beneath you is solid and grounding. The stars begin to blink awake above you, one by one, soft and slow, like shy dancers stepping into the moonlight. There's a hush over the valley now, a deep, ancient silence that reaches into your bones and says, you can let go. Let go of the day. Let go of the questions. Let go of the need to survive anything. Here you don't have to survive. You just have to rest. The Wild West will take care of the rest. Your breathing is slower now. Your body heavier. Your thoughts quieter. You're drifting now. Not through action, but through surrender. The desert has a way of teaching that. Not through force, but through stillness. And tonight, you've listened, so let the stars keep watch over you. Let the moon guard your dreams. Let the land hold you in silence. There's no danger here. Only peace. Only stillness. Only sleep. The moon has risen higher now. It casts a pale silver glow across the desert floor, washing over the rocks, the brush, your quiet, resting form. There's a stillness that's thicker than silence. It feels sacred, as though this moment was carved out of time itself, saved just for you. The air is cooler now. Not cold, not sharp, just gentle, like breath against your skin. The stars don't blink anymore. They pulse slowly, like the slow rise and fall of your chest. You are in rhythm with the world now. Not ahead of it, not behind it, just perfectly aligned. There is no noise in your mind, no lingering thoughts asking to be solved, no echoes of the day left behind. Everything is hushed, and as you lie there, so still, so deeply present, the land begins to speak to you, not in words, but in feelings, a warmth in your spine, like sunlight baked into stone, a softness in your hands, like feathers against your palms, a hum behind your ears, a lullaby from the ground itself. The Wild West isn't testing you anymore. It's holding you, rocking you, letting you know it's okay now. You did well. You made it through the day. And now, you can let it all go. You see a small flame flicker again in your mind. Your campfire, still burning, still glowing, still waiting for your return. Maybe you dream of going back to it now, to the circle of warmth, to the soft pile of blankets, to the shape of your hat resting on a log beside you. You can return, if you like. Or you can stay here, by the river, beside the stars. There is no wrong choice, because every part of this land, every grain of sand, every weathered stone, every coyote song has accepted you. You don't need to fight anymore. You don't need to prove anything. Your only task now is rest, to fall deeper into sleep, to allow the desert to pull you inward. Like roots growing down into soft earth, even gravity feels gentle here. Like a slow exhale, Your breath is soft now. Your muscles completely still. If there are thoughts left, they float like clouds. Seen, acknowledged, and let go. Drifting. Always drifting. Like you. And somewhere deep within, a voice. Your own voice says softly, "This is where I'm meant to be. In peace. In sleep. In quiet." And the Wild West answers back. With silence. With stillness. With the endless sky. Watching over you like an old friend who never left. Time feels like it has melted completely now. There are no hours here. No past. No future. Just now. Just this gentle floating. Now, you're not sleeping, but you're not awake either. You're somewhere deeper. Somewhere quieter. Your body feels as though it's become part of the earth beneath you. As though the sand, the stone, and your own stillness have fused into one long breath. The wind no longer moves around you. It moves through you. It is your breath now. Soft, slow, endless. And somewhere nearby, there is movement, but not the kind that startles. It's the kind that reassures. A soft shift of hooves in the sand. The low grunt of a mule bedding down for the night. The distant jingling of a saddle, being unbuckled, gently placed down on wood. And again, the crackle. That campfire still alive, still whispering. Its coals glowing like tiny suns. You can hear it from wherever you are now. Whether in the canyon of your dreams or the open plain of your thoughts. You don't have to move toward it. It moves with you. Because this story isn't about travel. It's about surrender. It's about letting go so fully that the land becomes your blanket, the sky, your roof, and the silence, your favorite lullaby. You feel your thoughts get quieter. Your breathing gets shallower. Not from fear, but from calm. Your chest barely rises now, barely falls, and each breath takes you further into rest. The coyotes no longer howl. They've gone quiet. The birds have tucked their heads beneath their wings. Even the stars have stopped moving. Everything is still. Everything is waiting, not for something to happen, but for nothing to need to happen. That's what makes this place so beautiful. Not its danger, not its dust, but its stillness. That's the secret no one tells you. Why most people couldn't survive a day in the Wild West. Because they'd be too busy fighting to feel it, too busy riding, to rest in it, too busy surviving, to surrender. But you've done the opposite. You've closed your eyes. You've let your body settle. You've listened, not with your ears, but with your soul. And the land has responded by holding you, by welcoming you, by whispering in a language older than words. You belong here now. No more doing. No more thinking, no more trying, just being, just floating, just dreaming. The fire fades now, not gone, just soft, like your breath, like your thoughts, like the night itself. You're floating now, but not like a feather in the wind. You're floating like a stone in still water, anchored, yet effortlessly suspended. The weight of the day has fully left you. Even the memory of weight is fading. Your body no longer feels like something separate. It feels like part of the air, part of the sand, part of the quiet itself. This, now, is sacred space. The kind of silence you can't hear, only feel. It presses gently against your chest like a warm blanket. It flows under your back like a quiet stream. It rocks you like a cradle built from the very land you dreamed of crossing. And still, there are sounds, soft sounds, dream sounds, like the hush of an old story being whispered from inside a canyon wall, like the memory of footsteps across dusty wooden floors. You hear a screen door open, then close, as if someone stepped outside a saloon, paused under the stars, and sighed, not from sadness, but from peace. Maybe that someone was you. Maybe it's the part of you that used to rush and run and resist, finally stepping out into stillness and choosing to be quiet, choosing rest, choosing to trust. And the Wild West responds not with applause, but with gentle rustling grass, the low hum of the wind, and the lightest touch of moonlight on your skin. The night deepens, your breath softens, and now even dreams feel distant, not because they're leaving, but because you're going deeper beneath dreams, into something softer, something more still. The stars blur now, not because you're closing your eyes tighter, but because you no longer need to see. There's nothing to watch, only to feel, and what you feel is peace. The kind of peace that doesn't ask questions, the kind that just is, timeless, vast, infinite. The earth is breathing with you now. Every rock, every grain of sand, every canyon shadow, you are part of its rhythm. And the rhythm is slow, safe, sacred. You have no name here, no job, no goal, only rest, only breath, only presence. You don't have to remember where the trail began. You don't have to imagine where it ends, because there is no trail anymore. Just this moment, just this stillness, just this story, slowly melting into silence. Like a song, you hum as you fall asleep, not to hear it, but to feel it. And the last notes of this chapter are playing now, not in your ears, but in your chest, a low, slow thrum, the heartbeat of the West itself. And you are part of it. You always were, you always will be. You are still, not just your body, but your very being. Even your breath now whispers, soft as moth wings brushing a lantern's glass. The fire, if it's still burning, glows so low now, it feels more like a memory than a flame. But it's there. You don't need to see it. You can feel its warmth wrapped around your ankles, pulling up gently over your knees, your chest, your shoulders, until you're completely cocooned, safe, held, weightless. Somewhere in the distance, though you don't know where or when, an old piano plays a single note. It hangs in the air, then fades, like the echo of a goodbye that never needed to be spoken. The sound is like your thoughts now, slow, fading, free. You are free from roles, from reasons. There is no sunrise, yet only stars, and slow-moving shadows, and a sky too big to describe. You lie in that endlessness, like a ship on calm water, the sails down, the oars still, the tide moving gently beneath you, cradling your soul. You are the boat, and you are the water, and you are the sky above. Even time has loosened its grip on you. You don't know if this has been minutes, or hours, or if the sun ever set at all. All you know is peace. Not because something gave it to you, but because you stopped reaching. You didn't survive the Wild West. You let it carry you. You let it teach you the language of stillness, a language spoken by rock and fire and wind. You let it show you that silence is not emptiness. It's fullness, full of meaning, full of memory, full of mercy. And now, there is nothing left to do, nothing left to hear, except, maybe, your own heart, a quiet thud in your chest, steady, gentle, true, the sound of being alive, without needing to move, the sound of being part of the land. You feel it, with each breath, the West inviting you to stay, not forever, just long enough to rest, to sleep, to drift away into a place where no one survives. Because survival isn't the point. Stillness is. And now, you have found it. Right here, right now. And it will hold you until morning. And far, far beyond. You are no longer lying on the earth. You are the earth. You've become the ridge beneath the sky. The slow dune, shaped by centuries of wind. The softest grain of sand, glinting in moonlight. You've melted into the landscape. So gently. So fully, there's nothing left to hold up, nothing to hold back, and nothing holding you down either. You're just being, not thinking, not drifting, just resting. Even your breath is quiet now. Quieter than the wind, quieter than thought. The air hums in rhythm with your lungs. The sound of night has become the rhythm of your bones. There's no story anymore. Only sensation. Only softness. That slow breeze continues across your cheeks. No longer wild, but wise. Not here to move you, but to remind you. You're safe all around you. The West has gone silent, not because it's asleep, but because it knows. It knows you've surrendered. It knows you've let go. So it stops speaking. It simply watches and holds you. Not with arms, not with fences, just with presence. You may still see shapes behind your closed eyes, like firelight flickering on canvas, or the sway of prairie grass in midnight's hush. But these images don't ask anything of you. They don't push. They don't pull. They float, and you float with them. Maybe you dream of an old wagon now, its wheels slowly turning along a trail of dusts, led by horses with eyes like moonlight, tails flicking like soft metronomes against the night. You'll ride, but you don't need to steer. You trust the path. You trust the pace. You trust the quiet and the Wild West. In return, trusts you. It shows you its gentlest side. Not the one in books, not the one in movies, but the real one. Slow, wide, and whispering. You feel it now, in every breath. You are not a visitor here anymore. You are part of this land, not someone trying to conquer it, not someone trying to prove something, just someone willing to be. And because of that, you are finally at peace. Nothing stirs in the canyon. No wind picks up. Even the fire has faded to a faint golden hush. Not gone, just asleep. Like you, everything rests now, including you, especially you. There's nothing left to carry. No thoughts tugging at the edges of your mind. No echoes of the day calling you back. No weight on your shoulders or your chest. Only this, a steady silence, a vastness so soft it cradles you. Like a lullaby stitched into the stars. You've become lighter than breath now, lighter than moonlight. You're no longer trying to fall asleep. You're being rocked to sleep by the breeze, by the rhythm of the desert, by the space between every heartbeat. Somewhere, the horizon rolls slowly beneath the night sky, like a great sleeping animal. The hills are its back, the trees, its fur, and you, a tiny warm whisper curled up near its heart. No fear, no noise, only softness. You imagine the lantern light from an old homestead in the distance, glowing faintly through a cabin window. Inside, perhaps, is a rocking chair swaying slowly, and a kettle warming gently on the stove, its steam rising like a ghost into the beams above. But you're not there. You're not even watching. You are that steam, that warmth, that movement. You're the hush that comes between creaks in the wood. You're the scent of sage carried on air. That's older than memory. Every part of the land has welcomed you now. Not as an outsider, not as a wanderer, but as a quiet part of its own body. There's no more struggle, no more proving. You have nothing to do. And that is beautiful. Your breath is slow, your muscles melted, your mind completely at peace. It's a place far beneath dreams now. A place beyond thought, beyond language. There's only this rhythm, this warmth, this steady knowing. You are safe. You are still. You are home. And you may forget this story by morning. You may forget the campfire, the stars, the trail, the hush of the river. But that's okay, because it will not forget you. The land holds every whisper, every exhale, every softened heartbeat. You've offered it your presence, and in return, it offers you peace. So now, you rest, completely, deeply, eternally, if only for the night. There is no more edge to this moment. You are inside it, entirely surrounded, like a pearl resting deep within the softest sand. No clocks, no maps, no names, only warmth, only stillness, only space. Even your memories are fading now. Not lost, but gently placed in the distance, like books closed at the end of a long, quiet day. There's no need for stories anymore. No need for timelines or characters or endings. Only this deep, golden silence, like velvet wrapped around your body, like twilight pressed against your skin. A quiet deeper than night. The Wild West no longer waits for you to understand it. It only asks that you keep resting, that you let your breath stay slow, your thoughts stay gentle, your presence stay light, and you do, not out of effort, but because it's simply what's happening now. This is a sleep that doesn't pull. It invites, a sleep without demand, a sleep that welcomes you in, offering no tasks, no tests, just peace. Now, even your heartbeat is slower, like a drum muffled beneath layers of soft earth, like a whisper deep in the canyon's belly. You are no longer falling asleep. You are being carried there, by wind, by warmth, by rhythm. You are being rocked deeper than dreams, into the most sacred kind of rest, the kind that isn't earned, the kind that's always been waiting for you, all along. Your body, now still, your breath, now almost silent, your thoughts, now resting. Everything is as it should be. You are not a guest anymore. You are not an outsider. You are the hush of the prairie grass. You are the shadow beside the fire. You are the silence that stretches between stars. You are, finally, home, and all there is left to do is sleep. Completely, unapologetically, lovingly. Sleep. The desert holds you now. Not loosely, not tightly, but just enough to let you forget everything but this moment, this breath, this feeling of being cradled by the world. You've drifted beyond even sleepiness now, into the space where sleep itself begins to lose its meaning. Because it no longer feels like a state you're entering. It feels like the truth you've returned to, like remembering something you've always known, that stillness is your birthright, that silence is your sanctuary, that surrender is not weakness. It is the deepest kind of wisdom, and you are wise now, not with answers, but with softness, soft thoughts, soft breath, soft soul. You feel no need to dream. The land is dreaming for you. It hums a song beneath the earth, low and ancient, like the sound the sky makes when no one's looking. It sings of stars that never set, of winds that never forget, of firelight that flickers on without flame. And it sings of you, you the one who listened, you the one who slowed, you, the one who let the world go quiet. That's the kind of soul the Wild West remembers. Not the fighters, not the loud ones, not the ones who tried to survive it, but the ones who let it hold them, like you are being held now. No more tension in your jaw, no more weight in your belly, no more effort behind your eyes. Even your thoughts rest flat now, like leaves falling on a still river. No ripples, no waves, just quiet, just presence. And the stars, those steady, silent watchers above, begin to dim ever so slightly. Not because it's morning, but because your inner sky is growing even more peaceful. Even the fire, if it's still there, glows only for comfort now. No heat, no danger, just a soft reminder that something warm still watches over you, and always will. And with that knowing, you let go of the last thought. The last tiny thing trying to stay awake. You smile, you exhale, and you sleep. Fully. Finally. Forever. If only for tonight. The world around you is no longer the desert. It is no longer stars or wind or firelight. It is something simpler now. Something slower. You're inside a silence that breathes. A quiet that isn't empty, but full of stillness. It wraps around you like warm cotton. You feel no difference between the ground beneath your back and the sky above your face. You are between them, yet part of them. Suspended, supported, safe. You are weightless, but grounded, drifting, but still, even the deepest part of your mind, the part that always watches, that always worries, that always stays alert, is now asleep. Like a lantern, finally blown out, the last glow fades, and all that remains is rest. There is no story anymore, no words to follow, only gentle sounds, like fading echoes of the land, the shee of wind through grass, the thrum of your heart aligning with the earth, and the slow breath of the night itself, rising and falling, holding you gently in its rhythm. There is no need to wonder where you are now. You are in the space beneath thought, the space where stillness lives, where time folds in on itself and becomes nothing but comfort. You can almost feel the shape of this space. It's round, soft, infinite. No corners, no clocks. Just a slow swirl of rest surrounding your entire being. And in that swirl, everything unnecessary fades. You are not cold. You are not warm. You simply are. Not a body, not a name, not a mind. Just presence. And the Wild West, with its skies and hills and heat and hush, has stopped moving. It holds you like a stone that's finally found its place, like a feather that has landed after floating for lifetimes. And as you lie in this endless quiet, even your dreams grow silent. They don't spin stories anymore. They simply breathe with you, in and out. You are now the heartbeat of the desert. You are now the silence between the stars. You are what remains after everything else has been set down. And what remains is peaceful, pure, perfect. Now, even your awareness is featherlight. No edge, no boundaries. Just gentle being. You are not in sleep anymore. You are sleep. The quietness that flows through your limbs is not just relaxation. It's a kind of ancient remembering. A return to something older than words. Older than fear. Older than the dust beneath the wagon wheels. You've slipped so deep into stillness, you no longer wonder what time it is, or how long you've been here, or when morning might arrive, because morning doesn't matter here. The desert doesn't count in hours. It counts in heartbeats, in exhales, in the spaces between stars. You've become one of those spaces now, a soft, necessary part of the universe's slow rhythm. The kind of rhythm that never needs to be loud, never needs to be seen, just felt. The campfire has gone out, but you don't miss it, because the warmth has moved inward, into your chest, into your belly, into every thread of your being. You are glowing quietly from within, like the last coal resting in the ash, not burning, just present. Everything is soft now, even your dreams. If there are any left, drift like dust on golden air. They don't take you anywhere. They don't ask anything of you. They simply are. And you, too, simply are. A soul at rest. A breath in a canyon. A hush between stars. The West no longer needs to teach you anything. You've already learned the only lesson it ever wanted to give. That the deepest peace doesn't come from silence. It is silence. And you have become that silence. Soft. Still, whole. Even your name, if whispered now, would pass through you like wind through branches, touched but not held. Because names are for waking, and you are far beyond that now. You are in the space beneath wakefulness, beneath dreams, beneath even time. You are home, in a place no map can find, no sound can stir, no morning can interrupt. And here, you can stay, as long as you like. For one night, for every night, for as long as the stars remain in the sky. You have become a shadow now, but not the kind that follows, not the kind that disappears when light arrives. You are the gentle kind, the one that lives between sunlight and sleep, between dream and memory, between inhale and exhale. You don't exist in the West anymore. You exist as it. You are the slow roll of wind across an open field, You are the dust that dances in moonlight. You are the hush that settles after a long day's ride. And the land knows you. It recognizes you, as though your spirit has always been here, beneath the rocks, behind the rustling of dry leaves, woven into the hush between the calls of distant night birds. Nothing stirs now, not because the world is sleeping, but because it is listening to you, to the rhythm of your breath, to the silence inside your stillness, to the soft, sacred presence you've offered simply by being still. You haven't survived the Wild West. You've merged with it. And in doing so, you found something no outlaw, no rancher, no drifter ever could. True rest. Not exhaustion, not escape, but real, weightless rest. The kind that doesn't end when you wake, the kind that stays, that lingers in your chest like the last note of a lullaby, a warm pulse, a memory without sound, a comfort without condition. And you've earned this, not by pushing, not by chasing, but by stopping, by softening, by letting the world wrap around you without resistance. You don't need to remember where the fire was, or where the trail began, or where the morning is near, because here, in this moment, in this wide, breathless hush, you have everything. No need for direction, no need for names, just being, just breath, just stillness. And somewhere very deep, beneath layers of rest and rhythm, a voice like wind whispers, you made it, not across the desert, not through the night, but into yourself, into that quiet center, inside you where the Wild West always lived, waiting. And now that you're here, you are whole, you are held, and you are home. There are no more questions now, none, because there are no more answers to chase, no more trails to follow, no more next thing waiting just ahead. You are in the place beyond needing, beyond wondering, beyond striving. Here, there is only breath, and even that breath is featherlight. You are so deeply at rest now, you might not even notice the way your chest gently rises and falls, because your body is no longer something you're in. It is something you are part of the land, part of the stillness, part of the dream itself. You might hear something now, faint, so faint you almost think it's imagined, a low hum, not from outside, from within. It's the hum of being alive without effort, the sound of your soul relaxing fully into its own weight, the sound of complete surrender. That's where you are now, not in the Wild West of stories, but the Wild West of spirit. And in this space, time has turned to dust. You feel it. How the past and future have blown away like wind across the trail. All that remains is the wide golden now. And this now is vast. It has no edge. It asks nothing of you. It simply holds you, gently, endlessly. You might still be lying under a sky somewhere. You might still hear the echo of a fire's last breath. You might still feel the press of soft earth beneath your back. But even those are starting to drift. They blur, like dreams sinking beneath dreams. And you don't reach to hold on to them. You let them go. Because this part of rest, this deep, velvet dark, is not about holding on. It's about floating. And you are floating in the quietest silence, floating in the softest breath, floating in the slowest kind of peace. Your pulse slows again, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Your soul understands now. The West never wanted you to survive it. It wanted you to join it, to dissolve into its rhythm, to become one with its silence. And that is exactly what you've done. You are now part of something larger, older, kinder, wiser, and nothing can reach you here. Not sound, not fear, not thought, just warmth, just quiet, just sleep. There's no more boundary between you and the land. You're no longer lying on the earth. You are the earth. You're the stillness beneath the surface, the warm silence deep in the rock, the soft pulse that hums beneath desert roots. You are what remains when all else has faded. Even your breath now is distant, not because it's stopped, but because it's so natural, so effortless. It's become invisible, a rhythm so soft. It disappears into the stars above. There is nothing left in your body that needs to hold tension. No shoulder holding weight. No jaw clenching thought. No chest resisting softness. You are melted, poured into the shape of the night, and the night is shaped like a cradle. You lie inside it. Or perhaps it lies inside you. It doesn't matter anymore. The difference between you and not you has fallen away. All is one, and all is still. Perhaps somewhere in this vast hush, you imagine the flicker of an old lantern swinging slowly from a post, its light swaying gently over a wooden porch, its flame soft, steady, but you're not watching it from afar. You are that light, that slow swing, that golden glow stretching into the quiet. You illuminate nothing, and that's okay. You simply exist, as peace, as stillness, as the part of night that no one sees, but everyone feels. That's what you've become. And the West, the true West, the one that lives between the stars and silence, has accepted you. It whispers no more. It doesn't need to, because you've become its whisper. You are what remains. When the campfire dies down, when the trail fades, when the horses rest, when the boots are silent, you are the final hush, the sacred quiet, the soft exhale of a world that's finally at peace. And now, so are you, completely. No stories, no dreams, no endings, just sleep. Everything is slower now, not just your breath, not just your thoughts, but time itself. It stretches, widens, softens, like the last golden strand of sunlight, just before it slips behind the hills. But this time, the sun isn't setting. It's simply resting. And you are resting with it, together. You and the sun, the moon, the fire, the dirt and dust and starlight, all have agreed without speaking to be still, forever, if need be. This is the moment that exists beyond rest, beyond recovery, beyond even dreaming. This is surrender in its truest form. Not giving up, but letting go. Letting go of being separate. Letting go of needing more. Letting go of needing at all. You are whole here. And what does wholeness need? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even breath. And yet, you breathe. You breathe, not because you must, but because the world loves to feel your rhythm. Like the earth loves a slow rain. Like a canyon loves an echo. Like silence loves company. You feel now, at the deepest level, that everything in this vast, starlit land has accepted you completely, not because you conquered it, not because you proved anything, but because you simply stopped. And in that stopping, you became the thing all things long for. Still, safe, seen. You may not know where you are anymore. But that doesn't matter. Because you're not lost. You're home. Not a place with walls. Not a town with names. Not a bed with corners. But a state of being. This, here, now. The fire is only ashes now. But the warmth remains. The stars, above, no longer glitter. They simply hover, watching you. Like soft, ancient eyes. They've seen wanderers come and go. Gunslingers, dreamers, survivors. But you are none of those. You are the first to listen, to stop, to settle, to melt into the moment without needing to wake from it. That is why the Wild West has made space for you, in its skies, in its soil, in its soul. You are no longer trying to survive it, You have become part of its eternal hush, and you will remain here, in stillness. As long as your soul desires, you are floating now, not through space, not through time, but through peace. It carries you like a quiet river, slow, endless, and soft, beyond words. You're not drifting away from anything. You're simply sinking into something. Something sacred, something safe, something completely beyond effort. This isn't the kind of quiet you fall into. It's the kind of quiet that rises up to meet you, wraps around you, welcomes you, weaves into your every breath. The fire is long gone now. Its ashes, cool, its story told, but its warmth still lives in your chest. A gentle thrum, like a lullaby whispered from within. Your body has no edges now, no weight, no need to move. You are air. You are light. You are the pause between one star's twinkle and the next. No thoughts tug at you. No sounds call to you. Even your dreams rest now. Not gone, but curled beside you in stillness, waiting quietly like loyal companions. Perhaps you feel the memory of earth beneath you, not as something hard, but as something holding, cradling your rest with infinite patience. And far, far above, a sky that doesn't move, a sky that doesn't speak, a sky that simply watches, and even it has nothing more to offer, because you have everything you need. The West is no longer something you've traveled through. It's something you've become part of. Not the dust or the distance, not the horses or the heat, but the space between, the hush beneath it all, the knowing silence that's always been there, waiting for someone brave enough to be still. And you were, and now you are. The stillness. You are what remains. After all the chasing, after all the searching, after all the effort to survive, you are what's left when everything has finally softened, when the sun sets, when the boots are set aside, when the trail disappears into starlight. You are what's left after that, still, safe, timeless, and the Wild West, that old, sacred spirit. It knows you now, not by your name, not by your story, but by your stillness. You have become part of the land's deep hush, and in doing so, you have become whole. You're not asleep anymore. You're beyond sleep, where even the idea of rest becomes something richer, something deeper, something eternal. There is no sky here, no fire, no breeze, and yet you're warmer than ever, held more gently than ever, cradled by something so vast, so kind, it doesn't even need a name. Maybe it's the spirit of the land. Maybe it's the hum of the stars. Maybe it's the part of you that's been waiting all your life to stop carrying everything. Whatever it is, you are wrapped in it completely, and it asks nothing of you. Not a thought, not a movement, not a sound. Only this, to keep resting, to keep floating in this golden hush, where nothing can go wrong, and nothing needs to be fixed, and everything is exactly, perfectly, as it should be. Even your heartbeat now is quiet, not slow out of sleep, but slow out of peace, a rhythm so soft. The desert itself seems to breathe with you, in and out, and in that breath, you feel it. You are no longer surviving the Wild West. You are a part of it. You're the pause between gusts of wind, the quiet that lingers after hooves pass, the silence that follows the last note of a harmonica at dusk. That's you now, a piece of eternal stillness. And if someone were to stumble upon you, lying beneath the stars, wrapped in the hush of midnight, they might wonder if you're dreaming. But you're not. You're being, simply, perfectly, being. And that's all the land has ever wanted from you. Not your toughness, not your cleverness, not your plans, just this stillness, softness, surrender. And now that you've given it, it gives something back, something rare, something unspoken, something like peace, but wider, something like rest, but deeper, something like love, but older, and you feel it wrap around your soul like starlight, and you let it, because you have nothing to hold anymore. Nothing to chase, nothing to remember. Only this, the vast, soft quiet of a night that holds you completely.